he is indeed Dusty Slay, comedian. It's great to see you in person, Dusty.
All right, I'm pumped to be here.
Now, I have a real dumb question. Is your real name Dusty?
It is Dusty. Well, that's my, maybe not my government name. I don't like to tell people this, but my parents wrote a name down on the birth certificate, but they always called me Dusty, right? So I always say, regardless of what they wrote down, if they called me Dusty, isn't that my name?
Yes.
I think it is.
It's what you answer to.
Like, I don't know why they wrote down Dustin on the birth certificate and then never used it.
Right.
Even when I'm in trouble, they weren't like,
Really?
Dusty. Yeah, I've always been Dusty. I don't know what they were thinking.
Well, that's great. But was it Dustin Hoffman? Was that the
Well,
genesis of this?
see, that's what they said. My dad says that I'm named after Dusty Rhodes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's cool.
And my mom says I'm named after Dusty, a reoccurring character off a soap opera. I believe
Dusty.
Dallas, maybe.
Okay.
One of them.
Wow.
Somebody, that's what she said. I don't know. But again, both Dustys,
Yeah.
not Dustins. Maybe they slipped up in the...
Well, maybe they thought Dusty on your birth certificate didn't look professional enough, maybe, or...
Maybe. I don't know. I can't. My dad's name's Guy, and my mom's name's Edna. So I feel like with names like that, you could go anywhere with it. You know what I mean?
No.
Guy and Edna.
Yes.
Now, you don't have to reveal this, but you are a family man now.
I am a family man. Yeah, I have two kids.
And when you named them, did you peruse family records, or did you go into just your favorite television shows? How did you decide on
Well,
names?
I tried to, really think about it. I tried to give them some good names that they wouldn't be, stuck with some bad name their whole life. And I didn't try to get too cute with it. My daughter I named Daisy. Now, we liked that name, but we gave her a kind of a family middle name. And then my son, we went very normal with Samuel, you know.
Both such great names.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've got a Sam, and my niece is Daisy.
All right. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. I love that.
Daisy and Poppy.
But, I wanted to get real creative with my son's name. But then at the end of the day, I was like, let's just give him a normal name and let him live a normal life.
Do you call him Samuel?
We got all kind of cute names, Sammy is what we call him a lot. It's a lot of fun. I like a 2-syllable name. I don't know why I gave him, more of a 1-syllable name. I like a 2-syllable name. It rolls off.
And you're still in the nickname phase?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's 8 months,
Oh, sure, yeah.
We're not. If we had another daughter, we wanted to name her Rose to keep a real flower theme going.
Yeah.
Right.
We were into that. We like a theme.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful name.
There's not a lot of
Rose.
them. I couldn't think of a male flower I wanted to name my son, Thistle, maybe.
Oh, that's not bad.
I don't know. Is Thistle
Basil.
neutral?
Yeah, Basil is...
Basil, yeah.
And then you got your whole life. Is it Basil or Basil?
Yeah.
Is it Bella or
What a
Bela?
fly trap.
Yeah, but
Fly trap. That's a good one.
aren't
But
flowers both male and female at the same time?
I think so, but all the names feel
Are very feminine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Iris.
Now, Dusty, do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have 2 older sisters. We have the same mom, different dad. And then I have a younger sister. We have the same dad, different mom. So my younger sister, not related to my older sisters.
That's
Okay.
interesting.
I always think that's fun.
Yeah, it is.
Are there names relatively normal?
Yeah, they're all pretty normal. I got the weird, it's like I got Trisha, Jennifer, and Brooke. And then Dusty. That's what happens when my parents get together and name a kid.
Oh, okay.
It worked out well for me, but
Yes.
I think Dusty Slay is a fun name.
Oh,
Great
it's a killer name.
And I think I'm the only one. I looked up on Facebook one time, and there were some others, but they seem fake.
and it came after you.
Yeah, it seems fake, though. One guy I looked up on Facebook, it looks like me had I not moved from the trailer park.
All right.
It's like alternate reality Dusty.
Wow.
And I think that's what's happened. It's some kind of Mandela effect with this guy.
Yeah.
Dusty Slay is our guest. Dusty is a distinguished comedian, currently on tour. We talked to you a few weeks ago on the Zoom
Yes.
because you had something special out there. What's the status of your television thing?
Well, I have a Netflix special called Working Man.
Right
And,
now.
Right now.
Watch it now.
And that name confuses a lot of people. By a lot of people, I mean my dad. But it's going great. I mean, it was in the top 10 on Netflix for about a week. I don't know what happened after that, but
learned some good stuff about it. I learned that you don't like to wash your hands.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
What?
Uh-oh.
Did you shake his hand?
You've got Tom's attention.
I did not.
I don't hate washing my hands. My point is that I just feel like it's out of control. It's just everywhere we're turning now, we're washing our hands. And I mean, like, I just think it's out of control.
I'm a big fan.
Are
He
you?
washes his hands 100
Yeah,
times a
do you know
day.
that you're supposed to sing happy birthday twice?
know, that's what they
with
say.
Really hot water.
He wants to watch Tom wants to wash his hands right now, and I've got $10 that says within the next 45 seconds you reach for your hand sanitizer.
Does the
When I wash
are you
my
familiar
hands,
with hand sanitizer?
when I wash my hands, I say happy birthday. I go, happy birthday.
Here it comes.
This is the hand sanitizer I keep
okay.
behind my desk.
Wow.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
That's an alarming amount.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is
That's
128 fluid ounces.
How
that's
long
an
will one
alarming-
like that last you?
That's
A
a
week?
crazy amount of anything.
Yeah.
That'd be
that
a
is-
crazy amount of ketchup.
That's a good question. How long, honestly, will that last you? A year?
No.
I'm just sanitizing right now.
Okay.
And then, Dusty, I hate scented soap.
Oh, yeah.
You go to a restaurant, you go in and wash your hands, and you come back and you smell like you've been in the classic French whorehouse.
Well, I say I like to compliment people's bathroom soaps so they think I wash my hands.
Oh, that's a good
You
idea.
know what I mean?
Wow, you got some really good smelling soaps in there.
Yeah.
Somewhere in this building is a hat from Hyman's Restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
And our guest, Dusty Slade, distinguished comedian.
I've had dinner at Hyman's. It's delicious.
Hyman's
worked
Restaurant.
there for a long
It's
time.
in Charleston, South Carolina. You worked there for how long?
I worked there, I don't know, off and on about 10 years. I quit, I had a little span in between where I didn't work there. But, I worked there. I was owned by a family, the last name Hyman. And, but, people would ask me, they would go, oh, are you one of the Hymans? I'm like, yeah, because they named me Dusty Hyman. And it used to be located on the same block as a restaurant called Sticky Fingers. So, and there was a clothing store called Loose Lucy's, all right there together.
Wow.
That is true.
Now, you are on tour right now. Lots of spots coming up for Dusty. He's going to be in New Orleans, Hattiesburg, Manchester, Connecticut, Lincoln, Nebraska, Iowa City, Iowa, Ponte Vedra, Florida, Atlanta, GA, Charleston, West Virginia, Friday, April 12th. And I think we're going to be there like the week before.
April 5th.
I think, that's our tentative.
Yep, that's the week
Yep,
before. That
that's the
checks
week.
out.
Our tentative plan.
out.
Panama Beach, Florida, coming up for Dusty. You're on the road for quite some
Panama
time.
Beach, Florida. Now, where's that, Tom? Is that in the center of the state there?
It's near the Isthmus. Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the Isthmus running joke.
The Isthmus of Florida.
Okie dokie. Super.
Now, Dusty, you talk a lot about the fact that you were raised in a trailer park. And what state were you in?
I grew up in Alabama. You mentioned Panama City Beach, and I spent a lot of time down there growing up. I mean, that's the spring break spot if you grow up in Alabama. That's where my dad met his fourth wife, was in Panama City Beach.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Was it on spring break?
I don't remember. I don't think so. But I actually think it was a little cold. And we were, it's like that's where you get the discounts. And, but yeah, it's great. I mean, I grew up in a trailer park, and I don't know why they call it a park. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't that fun. Like we had a good time, but there wasn't no rides in there. No water slides. We had like an occasional slip and slide, or like an old tarp with some Dawn dish detergent on it. But yeah, it's great. I love Panama City. I got 2 shows down there. It's like happy to get back to my roots.
Nice.
That's where you go have I don't know. Back in the day, you get in the car with the loudspeakers and you ride up and down the strip and just stare at people and throw beads at each other and hope someone, takes off their shirt. It's a good time. Just quality family time. Like you go down for that and then your dad takes you for vacation. I mean, it's
I spent a spring break in Alabama at Gulf Shores.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was our
I done
spring
that,
break.
too.
Yeah.
Now, is your dad still with us?
he is still with us, yeah.
Is he still with number 5?
Number 4. He
Number
is.
4.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out. I mean, so there's some lasting quality to a Panama City Beach meeting.
Okay. Oh, so that 4 stock.
Yeah.
I'm glad to know that.
I did some drugs with the people in a trailer in Gulf Shores one time.
Oh, right on, yeah.
I thought I was not going to make it out alive, but I did. It was.
Have you been to Lambert's, home of the throwed rolls in Gulf Shores?
Nah, we didn't do a lot of things that cost a lot of money.
Right.
We were really down there. You do the beach.
Yes.
And try to meet some roofers out there and go back to their trailer for some drugs. You know what I mean?
The roofers had the good stuff. There's no doubt about it.
They're risking their life every day.
Oh, yeah. They blow off some steam.
You got to party at night. It's dangerous. Dusty Slay is our guest. Are you able to keep in touch with your family with when you're on the road like this? Do you do the FaceTime thing every night?
I do FaceTime, and it's fun. The thing about FaceTime and just hanging out in a hotel room, it's like, sometimes I'm just lounging in there, right? I'm alone in there. I don't care if I have clothes on or not. And then all of a sudden, my family's FaceTiming me. And I'm like, oh, now I got to pull it together real quick. A call, it's no big deal. You don't even have to put clothes on. But a FaceTime, you're like, oh, I got to look like I'm, living a life here. I'm out here working.
Right.
My family thinks I'm doing fun things. I'm like, I've been in this hotel all day. I'm resting.
Now, do you go to the gym? What do you do? Watch TV? What do you do all day?
I do try to go to the gym. I will go there sometimes, and I'll walk for a bit on the treadmill. But I like to, I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I get into it. I waste more time than you would imagine on my phone. It is unbelievable.
It'll suck you in, won't it?
Yeah, but I go. Sometimes I'll walk around. I walked around Indianapolis yesterday. It was a lot of fun.
Good.
See what's going on in every town you're in?
Yeah.
Okay, and once again, on tour, you're going to lots and lots of different places. Now, do you tour by yourself?
I usually try to take a feature, but I travel alone. I travel like Ric Flair out here, and I'll just be alone on some seat, and people will be like, "I saw him. I didn't want to bother him, but I saw him."
Yes.
Now, so for you to be in disguise, you just take off your hat?
Well, you would think, that is, but I like wearing the hat, right? It's like, that's the thing. If I don't wear the hat, I don't get recognized as much, but I still am getting recognized now. I got bombarded a little bit in the airport the other day, which is like pretty cool.
Yeah.
But also like, I was like, Netflix is wild. You get on Netflix, it's a whole new level out here. I got recognized several times on the street yesterday. People from their cars yelling at me. We're having a good time.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. That's my very own, woo.
Yes.
That's great.
I mean, I stopped at a Love's truck stop in Kentucky, and people were recognizing me, and I'm like, this is my fan base out here.
Yeah.
All right.
Dusty is the man behind the television program on Netflix.
Puppets.
Called
It's called
Workin' Man.
Puppets, Nothing But Puppets. No, it's not. It's
Working Man.
Working Man.
Now, we
That's right.
were talking about your background and your family. Your dad, has he been to one of your shows lately?
Not lately, but it's been a few years. But, my dad saw me bomb real bad once in Columbus, Georgia, and then he didn't come for a while. I don't think he understood why I was doing comedy. And then when I did the Grand Ole Opry for the first time, I brought him. And then it was a hot show, and so he was back on board.
Oh, he must have been thrilled.
So proud of
And then
you.
the first time I got something on Netflix, I told him, I said, I'm about to be on Netflix. He goes, oh, great. And then he goes, what's Netflix again?
Have you ever had a situation in which you referenced him specifically and he was not happy with the joke?
Well, yeah, that was part of the Columbus, Georgia joke. It was, an old joke about, adult films. And just technology, I was saying the first time I ever watched one of these was on a VHS tape.
Sure.
And my biggest complaint was having to rewind it back to the place where my dad left it at.
Right.
That's a fine joke.
Yeah, I think so too. But and he saw it one time and it went really well and he liked it. And then the next time, for whatever reason, it bombed. And Columbus, it was a weird night in Columbus. And then he didn't like it anymore.
Dusty, you have your own phrase. You have your own look.
That's right.
You got your thing going.
We're having a good time.
And you mentioned you were a waiter at Hyman's Restaurant in Charleston, South Carolina, off and on for 10 years.
For 10 years, yeah.
Was there a local open mic you'd go to after serving? And
We had a theater there called Theater 99, and it was an improv place, and that's where I would do comedy. Now, I do a lot of improv, and not known for my characters. I pretty much do this character that I always am. People like to think that this is a character that I've created, and I guess it is in a way. I mean, we're all characters that we've created, right? I mean, that's who we are. we're not. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We're all somewhat of a character of ourselves. But yeah, I was never known for characters. I could do this guy, and I was like, I've been working on this guy for years, and and that's what I do now. I just took that guy and I do stand up, and I feel like that I'm making no sense because everybody's kind of staring blankly at me. But
no, you are making sense. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, good, because I felt like I was in a bit of a loop there. For a second.
Man, it's okay. There are people that say, well, so-and-so plays the same character every time in the movies. So what?
Yeah, Tom, you and I have often talked about how that is not necessarily a criticism.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to see Jason Bateman.
It's a character that you enjoy.
Yeah.
You're like Michael Cera. You're like, I like that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Keep
That's
doing
what
that.
you want. Yeah.
Not everybody has to be Meryl Streep.
Right.
You don't have to learn an accent. Now, let me ask you this, though. You have a relatively flat accent. Did you kind of work on...
I never worked on it, but I used to say y'all all the time, right? Like if you watch on my Netflix special at the very end, I have a home video clip of me where I'm talking with my dad about this frog, and in the video, I somehow make frog 2 syllables. That's how Southern I was. But I don't know, just over time, it just kind of feels like it leveled out. That's, and a lot of people, I'll see them, they're like, be from, Tennessee or whatever, and they move to LA or New York, and years later, they still have a very thick accent. I don't know how it happens. For me, it just kind of fizzled out. And then other people will hear me and they'll go, oh, no, you have a very thick accent. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. I'm still Southern, but it's not, it's not how I grew up. Both of my parents had much thicker accents than me. My wife's Canadian. It could have pulled it out of me. I think she's more Southern than I am now. We kind of took, we kind of took our accents and mingled them up.
Now, your Netflix special is entitled Working Man.
Yeah.
And once again, that's not referring to you.
Yeah. Well, I had a lot of jobs, so that's kind of where it came from. I talk about a lot of my jobs. I used to work at a chicken finger restaurant called Jim Bob's Chicken Fingers in Alabama. I worked at Western Sizzlin' for a while.
Loved the Western Sizzlin'.
I mean, Western Sizzlin' was the best. And there's still one in my hometown. Although, I make a joke about how I saw a guy refilling the buffet and he was sweating into the green beans.
Oh, man.
And my friends were like, I'll never eat the green beans at Western Sizzlin' again. And it's like, don't pretend like you were going to Western Sizzlin' for green beans. You know what I mean? Like, you may put them on the plate, but you're going there for, fried chicken and yeast rolls.
Yes.
Maybe. And even on that buffet, we had a thing called fatback, where it was like fried pieces of fat, and it's like, if that's on the buffet, don't act like the green beans are getting worked out.
Well, you can mix that into the green beans. That's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. My aunt made a huge mistake at Western Sizzlin' one time. She was making an ice cream sundae.
Yeah.
And she came back and she was eating it. She goes, this tastes so odd. This whipped cream is bad. There was no whipped cream. It was sour. She put sour cream.
Oh.
I go, you didn't notice? You went over to the baked potatoes? that didn't give you some hint?
That is the worst.
Yeah, she really messed up.
Dusty Slay is on the road. I mentioned a bunch of the dates. You can find him by just going on the internet. He's going to be all over the country for the next few months. You can give yourself a big break sometime this summer?
Yeah, I think I have a couple of weeks off in like July. I mean, basically, I just go out on the weekend and then I go home. I mean, I'm pretty exhausted because I fly from Nashville, so everywhere's 2 flights. I connect all the time. So I'm pretty tired all the time. But
I know the feeling.
It is. I feel good. That's why I'm like, I'm doing 3 shows on this Saturday, and I don't know why I agreed to add a show. But they sold out, and I was like, that's awesome. So let's, obviously there's some demand. Let's do another.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm, Saturday I'll be exhausted.
Now, do you have, how could I word this, sort of a Stairway to Heaven piece that you kind of have to do even though it's appeared on TV and it's just something that's in your act, you kind of have to do it just even if people heard it, they want to hear it again? I
don't think so. I try to push them all out. I got a joke about how I grew up in a trailer park and, I live in Nashville now and I grew up in a trailer, but I live in Nashville and recently I was listening to the radio and a tornado warning was coming and they were like, if you live in a house, go into the basement. If you live in a house without a basement, go into a bathroom or a small room. And they were like, if you live in a trailer park, we want you to go to a neighbor's house or go outside and lay down in a ditch. Right? And that's a joke people really like to hear from me. But I can't keep doing it. I've done it a million times. I used to do it all the time here when I would come, and people loved it. Anywhere in the South or the Midwest, people love the tornado joke about getting down in the ditch. And I love it too, but I'm like, I just did it for years and years and years, and I have to stop doing it. Because you have to move on to new jokes, or you're not writing enough.
Yeah, I just think this people kind of want to hear it still. I enjoy it every time.
Yeah.
I'd be tempted to shout out flea market DVDs at one of your shows.
Well, the bad part is if you don't do them, like even that joke I just did, I've not done it in a while.
Yeah.
It's like you kind of forget the joke.
Right.
People request it, and then and if they do yell it out, I'll usually do the joke they yell out. But I'm like, and then I feel like I do it, and they're like, oh, not like that.
You blew it.
Yeah.